All right, let's talk about getting smarter with money. And I mean for real this time. We're going to skip all the generic, useless advice and get right to what actually works, stuff I had to learn the hard way through my own pretty expensive mistakes.
Does this sound familiar? You're just drowning in all these tips that seem like they're for people who don't even live on planet Earth. They're over there yelling, just invest 20% of your income, while you're just trying to figure out how to afford groceries and gas for the week. I've been there. It is so frustrating.
And honestly, most of the advice out there falls into two totally useless categories. You've got the intimidating textbook that's so dense it just makes you feel dumb, and then you have the over-the-top fluff that treats you like you're 5 years old. Neither of those actually helps in the real world.
It really made me start to wonder, why does so much of this advice just completely miss the mark? After going through dozens of these books, I had a realization. The problem isn't us, it's the advice itself. So here's the deal. Most financial advice assumes you're basically a robot. It totally ignores the fact that spending money is emotional, it's not always logical. A lot of it is written by people who, let's be honest, were probably never bad with money in the first place, and frankly, a lot of the industry profits from making things complicated, not from making them clear for you.
That's when I finally understood that the goal isn't just to get more information. The real solution, the thing that actually changes things, is a mindset shift. The best advice doesn't just tell you what to do, it fundamentally changes how you think about money.
And the single most powerful shift I have ever come across is learning to see money not just as dollars and cents, but as something way, way more valuable.
This idea, it's a total game changer, and it comes from the book Your Money or Your Life. Just think about this for a second. Money is your life energy. You literally trade hours of your one and only life to earn it. When you start seeing every purchase through that lens, your decisions start to change a lot.
Okay, so with that new perspective, let's start building your toolkit. These are the books that give you new frameworks for your brain, not just new rules for your bank account.
First up, Your Money or Your Life. This is for anyone who feels stuck on that hamster wheel, just working to pay the bills. It actually forces you to calculate your real hourly wage. And then it makes you ask a really powerful question. Is this purchase worth 2, 3, 4 hours of my life?
Okay, next one, The Behavior Gap. This book is for you if you're the kind of person who knows exactly what you should do with your money, but somehow you just don't. And hey, you are not alone in that.
And this quote is the heart of the whole book. It basically gives you permission to be human. It acknowledges that our emotions and our behaviors often just completely steamroll our knowledge, and that leads to some pretty irrational money mistakes.
The author calls this the behavior gap. It's that giant canyon between your good intentions and what you actually do. And learning how to close this gap is way more important than trying to find the perfect stock or investment.
All right, our next tool helps you build systems, because willpower alone just doesn't work long term. So for anyone who wants to get rich without living a life of miserable penny pinching, I Will Teach You to Be Rich is your guide.
The philosophy here is just brilliantly practical. You automate your savings and investments, so the most important stuff just happens in the background without you even thinking about it. Then you can spend extravagantly on the things you absolutely love and be ruthless about cutting costs on the things you don't care about. And the result? You can finally skip the guilt trip over buying a latte.
This next one is a huge reality check. The book is called The Millionaire Next Door, and it completely shatters the myth that being wealthy means you have flashy cars and designer clothes.
The book's most critical point is this. Income is what you make, but wealth is what you keep. There are tons of people with huge salaries who are flat broke. Real millionaires, it turns out, are often stealth wealthy. They care way more about financial freedom than they do about looking rich. And finally, if the whole idea of investing just feels completely overwhelming, the simple path to wealth is the antidote. It just cuts through all the noise, all the jargon, all the complexity. The message is really all about simplicity and patience. The advice is shockingly simple. Buy low-cost index funds, invest consistently, and whatever you do, don't panic and sell when the market inevitably drops, because time in the market will always be timing the market.
Okay, we have the toolkit, we have the new mindset, but now we come to the most important part of all, because all this knowledge is completely useless if you don't take action. So how do we actually put these ideas to work?
Let's be totally honest with ourselves. Most of us read this kind of stuff almost like it's entertainment. We feel productive for a minute, we get a little hit of motivation, but then nothing actually changes in our lives. We are not going to let that happen this time.
So to fight that inertia, that feeling of being stuck, I want you to just remember one number. The number 1. This is the key to avoiding overwhelm and actually creating real momentum. I call it the one change rule. It is dead simple. Pick one book from the list that really speaks to your biggest struggle right now. Then you're going to implement exactly one change from it. Not 10, not 5, just one. Maybe it's automating a $50 transfer to your savings account each month. That's it. Master that one single change until it becomes completely effortless. Then, and only then, you can think about adding another one.
Because at the end of the day, a perfect financial plan that you never actually start is worthless. But a messy, imperfect plan that you actually follow, that's what builds wealth. So I'll leave you with the question on the screen. What is the one change you'll make today? If you love this content, please share. Please make sure you click like on this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.